The nigga can't say I can't box. Right. I got more belts than him. I got more Olympic gold medals than him. He can't say that I can't box. Yeah. So what else he gonna say? Man, she ugly. And you're short.
Just do. I mean, it was crazy to hear that he got. He said he got evicted out of a house or something like that. And I was just like, what in the world? And like that type of.
Tank and Claressa Shields have never really gotten along, but recently their rivalry has escalated. They've disagreed before over boxing, opinions, and social media posts, but now the tension between them is reaching new heights.
Shakur is the best. To me, he's better than Tank, he's better than Devin, he's better than Ryan, he's better than Tiafimo. When it comes to those weight classes, Shakur to me is the best. He is me. I tell him all the time, you ain't gotta prove nothing to them fucking casuals. Ain't never laced up, and you think Shakur gotta prove something to you. You sound stupid. Go glove up first. I done seen that boy do some miraculous things.
Shields has always been straightforward about how she feels about Tank, and Tank has never shied away from speaking his mind either. But after Tank made a comment about Shields' adopted daughter, things took a serious turn. Now, Shields isn't just upset, she's determined to publicly call Tank out. She's connecting the dots, from his recent fight with Roach Jr. to his actions and words.
Which is a great fighter, and they both had a good fight. I think Tank is going through things that we don't know that he's going through mentally, so that's why I kind of like don't want to. I think that whenever I say something about him, it go viral, and then they make it a way for us to beef or whatever.
Pile on.
Yeah, and it's more of like I ain't got to be friends with him, but I don't hate the dude, and I wish him well. I think that if he get his mental together, he'll fight better.
Tank's comment came during an Instagram live session where he was chatting about various fighters and throwing his usual jabs. When a fan brought up Shields, Tank smirked and made a remark that immediately angered her. He said that Shields talks too much for someone raising another person's child and implied that she was acting like she built a legacy that wasn't truly hers. Shields took this as an attack on her daughter, and she wasted no time firing back with a strong response.
Quick. Tank. I am so happy that you think I look like a French bulldog and you consider me ugly.
Shields immediately shot back at Tank, saying he had crossed the line. She called his words not just disrespectful, but abusive. Nah, we're not doing this, she said. You want to come for me, fine, but bringing my daughter into it? That's crazy. That's abuse. That's sick. That man is not okay in the head. This wasn't the first time Shields had questioned Tank's mental state. Just days earlier, during an interview with Fight Hub TV, she had already said she believed Tank needed therapy. I think Tank is an incredible fighter, but he really needs to get his mind right, she said. When I hear some of his interviews and see some of the things he says, it's clear he's not in love with the sport anymore.
He would be better, and even a better fighter if he went and did therapy like ASAP. Because I can just tell like he's a little sad, he's a little depressed, even before this fight. So I think it'd be a better fight. I think that Lamont has the mental edge. I think anybody right now would have the mental edge over Tank, because to me, he just needs to take some serious time to deal with whatever he's having to deal with. Nobody knows what it is.
Shields didn't hold back, continuing to say that she believed Tank was struggling emotionally and needed real help. I think he'd be better, and an even better fighter, if he went and did therapy, like ASAP, she said. I can tell he's a little sad, maybe even depressed. He needs to take serious time to deal with whatever he's going through. Tank's recent fight against Roach Jr. on March 1st also became a big topic in their feud. Shields had already made it clear that she thought Roach deserved the win, and she wasn't the only one. The fight ended in a controversial draw, with many fans and analysts believing Roach should have come out on top.
The talk throughout the years, what you would do against somebody like Tank, your style versus his. Was that not the blueprint? And can you not do 10x that?
I'm not even gonna shit on her, but look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm asking for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I ain't gonna shit on him.
Okay.
We still gotta see each other. He say he wanna fight me, so we gonna fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I told him I won.
You told him I won. Got you. I'll talk to you later, Shakur. Good looking.
One key moment in the fight was when Roach landed a clean shot that made Tank stumble to a knee, but the referee ruled it a slip instead of a knockdown. Shields wasn't convinced. He got exposed, Roach beat him. I don't care what nobody says, that knee should have been a knockdown. If they scored it right, Roach would have won, she said. Tank tried to explain his poor performance by claiming that hair grease from Roach affected his vision, but Shields wasn't buying it. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that, she said. You either show up ready to fight, or you don't. Simple as that.
What explanation, if any, were you given about why that particular sequence was not properly called a knockdown?
I don't know. Did y'all see me in the ring tell him to keep counting? he started counting. I was like, why you stop? Like, keep counting. But I honestly don't know. I don't know. But I can't go back and change it. So.
Shields also pointed out something important. Tank had recently admitted that he'd been thinking about therapy even before his fight with Roach. In past interviews, Tank had opened up about the struggles he faces outside of boxing, mentioning how the pressure and fame weigh on him. Shields saw this as evidence that he was mentally checked out even before Roach gave him trouble in the ring. She didn't just think Tank needed therapy, she believed his own words showed he knew something was wrong. She even brought up how Tank had recently confessed to fearing embarrassment on the big stage. In her eyes, that's exactly what happened against Roach.
Unfortunate, but if there was some outside factor that did get into his eye, I don't know. You're walking on a gray line, and that's when things aren't necessarily black or white. So it's a tough call, and you don't want one little decision to change the whole fight. But in sports, sometimes it is one thing that a referee does or a judge does that determines who wins and loses. So luckily,
Shields pointed out that Tank had already admitted he didn't want to be embarrassed, and then Roach went ahead and did just that. Now he's trying to act like nothing's wrong, but he knows we all see it, she said. Adding even more fuel to the fire, Bob Arum, one of boxing's most legendary promoters, weighed in on Tank's situation. Arum said, "I think Davis has to start taking boxing seriously. It's not just a media thing. I don't know the kid, but he seemed sort of ordinary against Roach." Shields took that comment and ran with it, saying that even the biggest names in boxing were noticing what she had been saying all along. "Even the legends see it," she said. "He ain't taking this seriously anymore, and when you don't take boxing seriously, you get hurt."
When you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, you know, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds. That's why we need
Shields isn't just focusing on boxing, though. She kept bringing the conversation back to Tank's mental health and personal behavior. She reminded everyone of his past legal troubles and issues outside the ring, including his comment about her daughter. "This the same dude who got locked up for putting hands on a woman, right? And y'all surprised he's talking reckless? Come on now," she said. Tank has always been seen as one of boxing's biggest stars, but lately, Shields feels like the aura around him is starting to fade.
I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's automatic game. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing, and I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that.
For years, Tank's name carried hype, power, and fear. His knockout power made people believe he was untouchable. But after his recent performance against Roach Jr., the conversation around him has shifted. It's no longer just Claressa Shields taking shots at him. There's a growing belief in the boxing world that Davis might not be as special as people once thought. Legendary promoter Bob Arum, CEO of Top Rank, made it clear where he stands when he spoke with Shazil on the issue.
Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, it was a draw. He take a knee, and plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my business.
On March 28th, Arum didn't hold back, saying, "I thought Roach won the fight. It was a close fight. I think Davis has to start taking boxing seriously. It's not just a media thing. I don't know the kid, but he seems sort of ordinary." That word, ordinary, is exactly what Davis has spent his career trying to avoid. He's always been seen as a superstar, someone different from the rest. But now, after struggling against Roach and walking away with a controversial draw, people are starting to look at him differently. They're questioning if he really is the dominant force they once thought he was, or if he was just a product of hype. While some credit Roach's brilliance, others are wondering if Tank is truly as special as people believe.
What's it look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think? I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight, and I knew his style with Tank's style, what he was gonna be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So.
Did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
Davis and Roach are now in talks for a rematch in June, a fight that could either restore Tank's reputation or expose him even further. But not everyone is eager to see the rematch right away. Kezin Davis, a rising star in boxing, has other ideas. Kezin recently put on a masterclass against Dennis Bernick, winning the WBO lightweight title, and he believes Roach should be focused on other challenges before facing Tank again. Instead, he's calling for a fight between himself and Roach, saying, "It's the biggest fight the division can offer." Me and Lamont Roach stylistically is the hottest fight in the weight division for sure, Kezin told the Danza Project on YouTube.
It's better than what everybody was expecting him to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lamont can really fight. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying that, but I also been saying that I thought Tank was going to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? So he proved me wrong that, like I said, he's better than what we made him out to be. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think, like, Tank got exposed or nothing like that.
Kezin made it clear that he respects Roach, but he also sees it as an opportunity to prove himself. Shields seems to agree with Kezin's perspective. She hasn't just been calling out Tank for his mental state, she's also pointed out that his biggest threat in boxing isn't Roach at all. In an interview with Only Kayla, Shields defended Shakur Stevenson, saying, "Stevenson is the only one who can truly test Davis. This boy's a 3-time division world champion, silver medalist at the Olympics, one of the best fighters in the world right now. The only threat to Tank Davis right now is Shakur."
In my opinion, I feel like me and Lamont Roach, stylistically, is the hottest fight in the weight division. Yeah. Lamont Roach stood right there with Gervonta, the hardest puncher in the division, right? Ooh. So put him up against me, I'm not going nowhere. Y'all really gonna box, man. We're gonna fight. I feel like stylistically, that's one of the best matchups in the division for sure. It's gonna be a lot of rolling in that fight.
You know, Shields pointed out the hypocrisy in the situation, saying, "You just told this man he's a trash fighter. He spends every day in the gym trying to get better and be a great fighter. You can say that to him, but when he comes back and says something, now you're hurt and sad for a long time." Stevenson versus Davis has been one of the most talked about fights in boxing, but Shields' comments make it clear that she sees Stevenson as the superior fighter. And she's not the only one. Even Terence Crawford, who has had his own heated exchanges with Tank in the past, is now siding with Stevenson. In an interview with The Ring, Crawford was asked about the possibility of a Davis-Stevenson fight. He said he'd love to see it happen, but then he threw a jab at Davis, suggesting Tank would never agree to be on an undercard for someone like Stevenson.
Oh, undefeated? And what y'all? Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at. Alright, I'll welcome him.
That would be dope if Tank wasn't so cocky to be on a Terence Crawford undercard. That would be dope, but I don't see Tank taking a back seat to any fighter because he'll think it's the Tank show, Crawford said. His words cut deep, making it clear that he sees Stevenson as the one with the real skill, while Tank is just riding on his name. Stevenson himself isn't entertaining any idea of fighting on an undercard. He knows that a fight with Tank is huge, and if it happens, he expects it to be the main event.
High caliber. If Tank was not so cocky to be on a Terence Crawford undercard, that would be dope. But I don't see Tank taking a back seat to no fighter. Because it's the Tank show.
Eddie Hearn has also weighed in on the situation. While he wasn't involved in the PBC Amazon Prime video card where Tank fought Roach, he had a lot to say about it afterward. Speaking with Fight Hub TV, Hearn admitted that he and Matchroom were looking at a potential future showdown between Stevenson and Tank. However, after Tank's struggle against Roach and the ongoing rematch talks, Hearn isn't so sure anymore. The expectation was always that Davis would move on to a fight with Stevenson. That was supposed to be the biggest fight of the year, but now with the rematch talks happening, things have changed.
Somebody check the blockchain and check it for a big withdrawal around maybe 30 minutes after this fight. No shot. Somebody put the house on draw and just got a like 22x, something like that. A draw? The mathematical anomaly to have a draw with 3 different reps across 11 rounds? It's a mathematical anomaly.
Tank versus Roach 2, obviously, we didn't think this would become an issue. We were talking about Tank versus Shakur being the biggest fight of the year, or in boxing, the reporter asked Hearn. Hearn's response? He's not sure. Maybe not. That hesitation spoke volumes. Hearn, one of the most influential promoters in the sport, doesn't believe in Tank the way he once did, and he's not alone.
How about that? But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, oh, that, you know, he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner. I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation. For me, like, there was a lot of people in boxing that were saying that this is a really tough fight. Like, Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight, but it's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, like, even the day—
More and more people in the boxing world are starting to question whether Davis is truly the special talent they once believed him to be. The problem for Davis is that this isn't just about one bad night. His image has been showing cracks for a while. The distractions outside the ring, the legal troubles, and the questionable training habits have all been building up. Now, with his performance against Roach, it's easier than ever for critics to argue that maybe he was never as great as everyone thought.
Tank does have a fight. Yes. Against Lamont Roach. He gonna whoop him. What we going with?
Tank.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tank.
Tank in the stoppage, I don't know, third, fourth round, but Tank is that guy. That's the thing. We not bad mouthing Tank. You just can't, like you said.
Who we had the last time? Frank. Who was Frank's last name?
Don't go to the mountaintop.
When we had Frank Martin on, man, I remember sitting with Frank going, damn, he might beat Tank. Like, and there was a point in that fight. And
this is a crucial moment for Tank. If he wins the rematch convincingly, he can regain some of the respect he's lost. But if he struggles, or worse, loses, the conversation about him will change permanently. No longer will he be seen as a dominant force. Instead, he'll be viewed as just another fighter, one who had his moment but couldn't sustain it. And in boxing, once the aura of invincibility fades, it rarely returns.
When that happens, I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like, you know, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
As things stand, it looks like the beef between Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Claressa Shields won't die anytime soon. The two have never gotten along, but things have only gotten worse after their latest heated exchange. Just a few months ago, Shields fired back at Davis after he insulted her looks, calling her a French bulldog. Instead of letting it slide, Shields came at him full force, calling out his obsession with other boxers and questioning his career choices.
Well, yeah, why you so worried about Devin Haney business? What is wrong with you, boy? Ain't you supposed to be focusing on you a fight?
Shields, the undisputed female middleweight champion, has never been shy about speaking her mind, and this time was no different. She reminded everyone that Tank has been more focused on defending Ryan Garcia after his positive drug tests than on handling his own business in the ring. She even accused Davis of getting too caught up in Devin Haney's affairs instead of preparing for his rematch against Lamont Roach Jr., but her shots didn't stop there. Shields also took a direct swing at Davis's career, suggesting that without Floyd Mayweather Jr. guiding him and hand-picking his fights, he wouldn't be where he is today. She pointed out that he still hasn't faced top competition like Haney or Shakur Stevenson, and even when he fought Ryan Garcia, it was against a weight-drained version of him.
Niggas gotta hold your hand, pick your fights for you. That's why you're never gonna get inside the ring with Shakur. That's why you haven't fought Devin. That's why you fought a weight-drained Ryan.
But perhaps the most brutal part of Shields' rant was her personal attack on Davis's character. She dismissed his comments about her looks, saying she never found him attractive in the first place. Then she took things to another level, bringing up his history of domestic violence allegations. Shields claimed that Tank has a pattern of abusing women, and that's why he can't keep a relationship. Davis, known for his brash personality, has never shied away from controversy, but even he might have been caught off guard by Shields' harsh response. With both fighters having strong fan bases, their war of words has only fueled more debate among boxing fans, with some siding with Shields and others backing Davis.
Car accidents, all type of stuff. I ain't said nothing. I was there when he beat a girl up at the basketball game. I was there. I seen it with my own two eyes, so this ain't no hearsay. I seen it. Never.
For now, though, all the trash talk and drama take a backseat to what's next for Davis inside the ring. His focus has to be on the rematch against Lamont Roach Jr., a fight that could make or break his standing in the lightweight division. The first fight ended in a controversial draw, and many believe Roach did enough to win. Now, Tank has a chance to silence his critics if he can deliver a dominant performance. Until then, all we can do is wait. The Shields versus Davis beef might continue, but the real fight that matters for Tank is the one inside the ring. How do you see this ending? And do you really think Tank should be throwing words at Shields? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.